Good morning, everybody, to whoever's watching. Today is the October 23rd. It's about 5 minutes until the opening bell, and I want to start off with a quick prayer and then we'll get started. So, Heavenly Father, I thank you for another day and for another opportunity to grow in wisdom and discipline. Lord, guide my mind, my patience, and my emotions today. Help me to trade with clarity, integrity, and self-control, not out of greed or fear, but with purpose and peace. Let this live stream be a blessing, not just for me, but for everyone watching, that we all may learn and walk in your wisdom. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, so everything is up and running. Great. Okay, so we got a few minutes, so I went ahead and marked out my key levels. We have the higher volume node marked out from yesterday, and then we also have the lower volume nodes marked out as well. And then we have previous day volume area low, previous day point of control, and then previous day volume area high, and then also untested areas too, from previous days, not just from yesterday, but the past few trading sessions. So I'm going to do things a little differently today. The last 2 days have not been good, to be honest, and I've been breaking my rules, trading, more than 2 times. Yesterday was 3, the other day was 3, and taking 3 losses like that and rushing into trades, was not good, to be honest. So what I'm going to look to do is, until I get out of drawdown from this funded account, I'm going to just trade once a day. And then also it's going to be between 10:15 a.m. and 10:35 a.m. I think that works best for my strategy. It lets everything kind of settle down, provides me structure that I can trade from, opportunities. So I'm going to wait until that time window to see what the market does, see where we're at with our volume profile for testing any previous day volume areas, where they're located, how they're reacting, how price is reacting in those levels. And then, we're just going to be patient today and just try to find the best setup that we can between that time period. And we're going to just look for an A+ setup, win or lose. I'm going to call it a day. I'm not going to over leverage, but I will get out of drawdown and get this account where it needs to be to get my first payout with Apex. So that's what the main focus is as of today and going forward. So it's 9:28. So we're just about ready for the market to open. And then we also have 10 a.m. major news as well. So that actually works out because I can wait until after 10 a.m. to see what the market wants to do after news. All right, I'm going to write something down real quick. So I need to, going forward, just start treating this like a regular trading day, not so much that I'm live. It's tough going live starting out. So got to get back to what I was originally doing, and just get back to knowing knowing how I trade, and just getting back to success. So all right, so we're just in the open. It's 9:31, almost 9:32. I have a lot of looks like definitely a lot of volume coming into the market as expected. All right, so yeah, yesterday and the day before definitely were pretty tough. It's all a learning experience. It's what I, prayed for. Every stream be something that I could take away from and learn from, and hopefully show other people too. I have been, not following my plan to the T like I should. So those things, are definitely going to impact my trading performance. So, it's just something I'm cognizant of and need to work on. You would think that you're trading from your plan, but generally you're probably trading from emotions and disguising it as trading with your plan. And, that could mess you up psychologically. So that's what's been, happening to me. I've been thinking I'm going off of my plan, but, if when I get in early before my trading window, um, after that, it's purely emotion because I've already broken my first roll. So after that, it's just kind of a spiraling effect. Luckily, I'm not going full tilt and blowing my account, but I am essentially going tilt if I'm trading more than what I'm supposed to, over leveraging more than what I'm supposed to, or trading more than what my rules entail, getting in too early, not being patient. So those are things that, I'm going to be transparent about. I'm going to be honest about. Also, these live trades, I've been doing them for the last few days this week. They're all posted online for people to see. So it's nothing that I'm hiding or anything. It's just I got to get better. This is my first time live streaming. So there are some added pressures, some, performative issues that one can have when first live streaming. And I just need to get back to what I know, patience, and, learning from past mistakes and not making the same mistake twice. Continuing to get better each and every day. That's what matters. Okay, so price, let's see what we're doing right now. Let's check market structure. So from Friday's price action, price did continuously trade up. We consolidated quite a bit between 67.88 down to 67.58 area. We consolidated before, trying to retest this high. And then we ended up breaking down to the downside, bearish. We ended up retesting this, I would say it was untested, but now it is tested. This is Friday's volume area high, and price ended up trading right into it, bouncing off. And this was yesterday afternoon. We ended up bouncing off, trading from it. Now we're in a consolidation. We tapped this volume area low from previous day, and we just bounced off from it. And this was around 8:30 that we did this. Bounced off, retraced, and now we're proceeding to the upside. We are trading through this higher volume node that I marked out from previous day, just a high volume area where price is accepted. And this can easily turn into, point of control, volume area low, volume area high, whatever the case is. It's a high volume area. What I want to look for is these low volume nodes. This is where price generally reacts from. And if it's inside the previous day's value area, sometimes it could, hit and reverse. It could trade through and bounce from and continue. So that's what I'm looking for at this moment. And like I said, we're going to wait from my trading opportunities 10:15 to 10:35. And we're looking for one A+ setup. And that's it. So now what I'm checking for is I want to see what price is doing in these levels, how it's reacting, especially when it gets to the lower volume nodes. And I want to see, because I marked out pre-open value areas, the point of control area, value area high, value area low. And I want to see if these levels, if they start migrating or if they stay balanced. That's also going to tell me what's going on. And if I can get in the direction where the point of control is migrating, let's say if this continues up, I want to see point of control start to migrate up too. Or if it's a bearish type of day, I want to see this migrate down. And I know that, I'm trading in the right direction. If it's balanced and it's not really doing anything, then I want to wait until, price is no longer accepted and it wants to find other areas where price wants to be accepted at. and that's when, I look for my opportunity. So I'm waiting for the first 15-minute. Let's see. Yeah, I want to see the 9:30 to 9:45 opening range, and I'm going to mark out the high and low of that too. So my confirmation checklist, we'll go through this prior to 10:15 to help me kind of establish what I'm looking for, what kind of bias I have. So for the most part, we're remaining balanced in this price action currently. We haven't really had a point of control migration yet. We're still, in the pre-open area, so we just wait. Okay, we're almost at, it's about 9:43. So I'm going to mark out the low of the opening range since we're still moving higher. So 9:30. So price is continuing up after bouncing off this value area low during 8:30 retracement, and now we're expanding to the upside. Traded through this higher volume node area, and this is from yesterday. So you can see that price has continuously been accepted in this area. It's been bouncing, trading through. Now we're approaching the lower volume node, See how price reacts in this area. Sometimes if it's lower volume node, if it's in the previous day's value area, sometimes this could be used as an opportunity for a reversal, or it could be used to, make trades through. And that would be the opportunity I would look for too. If it's a continuation, I would want to see a trade through, bounce off, and then continue. But sometimes this could be used as a reversal as well, back into the value area and taking out, higher value nodes, trading down to, value area lows, things like that. Okay, so it's 946. Let me mark out the high. Let me get off the 5 minute chart. Getting a little bit of rejection off of the lower volume node area. Okay, so this is my 930 to 945 opening range, and we can see that price is breaking the high, trading into the lower volume node. Yeah, we had a pretty good expansion to the upside off of this value area low. And then we have previous day point of control, previous day value area high, and then the another lower volume node with untested point of control from a previous trading session last week. We haven't really seen point of control migrate at all with this expansive move to the upside. So we're still letting everything settle. And that's why I'm, looking at a trade not until 10:15 to at least 10:35. Price then usually settles, volume usually settles, and structure finally presents itself to where I can find an opportunity to trade from. So that's what we're gonna look at. Right now I'm looking at point of control if it's migrating or if it's staying flat until 10:15. See if there's any more. Point of control. All right, so far we've been staying pretty balanced. Point of control has not moved out of the pre-market point of control area, and I mark that usually before 9:30. So we've been pretty balanced. We haven't migrated or anything yet. Usually the migration starts, after 10 a.m. or, it can just stay where the pre-market point of control was and not move at all. Sometimes trading can be a little difficult because you got to wait, you know. Usually I want to be in a trade right now and I want to be done. but now I have to learn to wait and stay patient. That's why I have the 10:15 to 10:35 trading window, because it's teaching me to wait, to stay patient, let things play out. You know, I need to get rid of that fear of missing out on a move, because every move isn't a good move. It's usually a fake out that comes with a lot of these moves. So I just need to remain patient. And, going forward, just look for one A plus setup. That's all I need, is one, where I'm following my rule set. I've waited, seen how prices playing out. I see the structure that I'm looking for, and I make one trade. That's it, win or lose. But at least I know that I followed my rules. I did not deviate. I remain patient, and I can be happy with that. So that's what we're doing. So in this lower volume node, I do see volume starting to die down a little bit. We did have a pretty significant push at 9:45 into the lower volume node, and then we had some buy pressure too. But we just been the volume has been dying out in this lower volume node. So maybe there's a potential reversal opportunity where it comes back and retest in the 10:15 to 10:35 window, or it comes back, maybe retest the pre-open volume area high or the current value area high, whatever the case is, and then expands and takes this lower volume node with volume. And if it does, and it closes with a strong bullish candle outside of the lower volume node, then I'll take a buy for a continuation up to the previous day value area high and into the previous day low volume node. But, sometimes, price can come in, test this, and then reverse, come back, retest, and then proceed bearish. So that's what we're going to check for going into the 10:15, 10:35 trading window. And then also point of control has not moved either. It's still staying in place. So now I want to see, with price coming back in, I want to see if it holds up inside of the opening range. We're about 45 seconds from the 10 a.m. major news event. I think there's two of them. All right, 10 a.m. news. See what price wants to do. Let's see if we get an expansion to the upside and break this lower volume node and this high that was formed at 67.66. Or let's see if it rejects and continues down. If it continues down and it comes down here, then I would want to see it retrace and come back into the lower volume node. And I want to see how price would trade into here and what kind of volume we're seeing at the bottom. If there's increased volume, then I would want to wait until price shows its hand, whether it's going to continue bullish. Then I would want to see it break the LVN with a possible retest continuation. If this is a reversal pattern, then I would want to see it trade bearish and then retest again before a continuation to the downside. And I want to see all this happen in this 10:15 to 10:35 trading window. Point of control is still flat. We haven't migrated, it hasn't moved at all. So if anything, I want to see it start migrating if we're going to do anything at this point. Yeah, volume is kind of low at this point. Going back into the lower volume node, we are trading within the opening range. So starting at 10 a.m., the 1 minute candle had a rejection, went bearish, and looks like we're continuing to have some type of rejection in this lower volume node area. point of control has not moved. It's been staying at the pre-open point of control area. Forgot to mark this out. It's the high. So there was low volume here, so I'm going to mark this out. So we are having a volume expand in this area. So we are holding this lower volume node, which is now turning into a higher volume node because price is getting accepted in this area. We did take out the overnight high as well. Price is still, or point of control is still remaining balanced, hasn't moved. So it's about 7:08 or 10:08 a.m. So we're approaching the 10:15 to 10:35 20-minute trading window. So this was low volume. This was a low volume node that price trades through. So now I want to see what we do in this area. And then also I want to see what kind of retracement we get back into what is now higher volume. This part is considered higher volume, but we still have, somewhat lower volume outside of that. So if we're going to see a continuation to the upside, I want to see this trade through, and I want to see this point of control start migrating up. But I would want to see a break before I actually get in, breaking this high. If not, then I want to see price retrace back into here, and I want to see rejections with a strong bearish candle with strong volume coming out of it for me to go down. Yeah, we got price coming into the pre-open value area high. It's actually testing it. So let's see how price reacts in this area. So price definitely held up in this lower volume node. So if anything, I want to see another retracement. I want to get in at 2 retests. So I would consider this a retest, the first one. So I want to see price come up and test this again within this time window to figure out if we're reversing and going to remain bearish, or if we're looking to break through and continue bullish. So now it's trading at the point of control. Okay, we're almost in the, it's about 10:13. Volume is still, for the most part, flat at this point. We haven't migrated anywhere. Price trades back into the pre-open point of control. we had somewhat of a shift up for point of control. It shifted back down a little bit. But I'm not looking for a buy opportunity until it breaks the high of 67.66. So now what I want to see is price go back into that lower volume node area, which is considered has more volume in there now. So I want to see it go back into that and retest. So volume is or price is expanding to the downside at the moment, but I'm not getting in because I haven't seen any type of retracement at all. So I'm just going to sit on my hands and wait. We are within the trading window, but I want to see some type of retest and something. And if it gets past 1035 and there's no opportunity that I see, then that's it. I think price is there hasn't been any type of retest at all, so maybe price is leaving without me, but I'm not gonna chase it if it's not doing what I want it to do. Let's see if price gets accepted in this area and bounces off for an expansion back into this area at 67.66 down to 67.57. And point of control has been pretty balanced too. hasn't moved that much. So it looks like we are bouncing off the higher volume node from previous day. It's about 10:22 a.m. Yeah, point of control has been very balanced so far, hasn't moved. So let's see what we do out of this. I want to see it trade back into this area where we had where price was hung up and reversed. I want to see what happens if it comes back into this area and wicks. Then we could look at a potential retracement sell opportunity. But if volume increases bullish and we break this high, then we can look for a continuation move to take out previous day's point of control, value area high, overnight high, etc. So that's what we're waiting for. And as we get into here, we see strong bullish pressure. I want to see this point of control start migrating up, because that's how I would know if I'm trading in the right direction. So let's see what kind of push we get out of this higher volume node and see what we do within this area. A lot of buying pressure coming out of that point of control area. 5 minute candle looks strong. It's 10:25. Okay, let's see what kind of expansion move we get into this major volume area. And what I want to do is like I said, if we remain bullish and we push, I want to see a strong bullish candle close above this high for me to get in to continue in the continue bullish. If not, I want to see price break down and trade out of it. But we are bouncing off this higher volume node. We are in a full retracement after this bullish price leg. So we're definitely going to see what we do in this area. That's going to determine what I do as far as my trade goes. So we're almost back into the lower volume node. And let's see if price, gets held and gets absorbed. If buying pressure gets absorbed, and if we, it's just a reversal continuation down, that's what we're looking for. But if price breaks through that high, then we're looking at buys. We're coming up on, well, it's about 10:28 almost. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes. If it gets past 10:35, then I might give it till 10:40, 10:45 to figure out what's going on. But I'm not going to rush into anything if I don't see the opportunity. So volume area high and volume area low has shifted up. Point of control is the main one that I'm looking at. It has not shifted yet. It's still within the pre-open. Point of control is shifted slightly up. Let's see if we hold up above the point of control. A lot of volume there. Let's see if price bounces off this point of control area. We haven't really done too much yet. Or if this is gonna not, if this held up and it continues to the downside. We didn't really get into the lower volume area. We're coming up on 10:35 in the next few minutes. I think I'll give it until 10:45, figure out what we're doing. So if it's gonna bounce off, then I want to see some type of migration from point of control. To be honest, I want to get in right now, but I have to remain patient because point of control is very tricky. Trading off of that, price can just consolidate and remain balanced and chop up, and that's something that I don't want to do. I need more confirmation. I need a retest in this area to really figure out what I'm going to do. So we did bounce off point of control. Let's see if we can get an expansion to the upside. All right, let's see if we get some buying pressure coming in. Going into the volume node area. It was a nice bounce off. So there was a nice retracement back into this bullish leg with a potential reversal pattern. So I just need a little bit more confirmation. I need this point of control to start shifting up if we're going to remain bullish. But this is the true test to see how it's going to react in this area, because it could just from this bearish leg, it could just consolidate a little bit. Bullish volume gets absorbed and it comes back down. But since we are in the major, it was a retracement into this bullish leg, I'm going to assume that we could remain bullish, but let's see if price gets held up. I'm going to look at volume and see how it's reacting. See if we get absorbed. If price breaks this breaks this opening range high with strong bullish conviction, then I will look at a possible long. But I would need to see it break and then hold. And I want to see point of control shift up. If we can get that confirmation, then I'll definitely go long. So selling pressure was pretty weak at that point. That's just one candle. Let's see what we do. Let's see if we can get some strong buy volume going into this. And then we also have the high of the 10 a.m. candle too at 67, 62. So if we can definitely break through that with a strong bullish candle with strong volume, then we'll look at a possible entry. But I do want to see if we can break this high first. There is some selling pressure coming back in. We might be getting held up. I think we're getting held up, so I'm going to take this sell.
Order filled.
So I'm going to have my stop at 67.59. And, looks like buying pressure's coming back in. I could definitely be wrong, which probably.
Order submitted.
Then I want my stop at 67.45.
Order submitted.
So at this point, let's just see what price does. It is rejecting quite a bit. Yeah, it's not looking too good. Yeah, I'm going to get stopped.
Order filled. Order canceled.
So I ended up getting stopped on that one. I would think that price would get held up right here since we're retesting again, but we did have a pretty significant rejection at 10.45. So didn't work out. Let's see what price wants to do now. I'm going to look at a buy on this one.
Order filled.
I'm going to put my stop at 67.55.
Order submitted.
And then I'm going to put my take profit at 67.71.
Order submitted.
So if we can continue to get a rejection in this area. Yeah, price looks like it's rejecting.
Order canceled.
Yep. Well, that ends today's session. Appreciate you guys watching. Take care and God bless.